Inside, everything was warm and bright. Crystal lights, white linen, soft jazz, smiles that did not reach eyes. Gloria Rivers pushed her cleaning trolley past the lobby fountain, head down, moving like air dot. At 59, she had learned the rule of places like this. Do your job, stay invisible, do not make anyone uncomfortable. Tonight was the facility fundraiser. Families in suits, residents in pearls, cameras flashing. Gloria's shoes squeaked once on the polished floor. A woman turned, saw her uniform, and frowned like a stain had walked in. Pamela Voss, the director, stood near the gift table, holding court. Perfect hair, perfect teeth, perfect cruelty. Hidden behind professional Trent Caldwell, head of security, hovered close, arms folded, scanning for trouble. His eyes landed on Gloria, and stayed there too long. Gloria kept moving, cloth in hand, wiping fingerprints no one would admit were theirs. That was when a sharp voice cut through the music. Stop her. The room quieted in a way that felt planned. Pamela's heels clicked as she approached. Smile, fixed eyes cold. Gloria Rivers, Pamela said, loud enough for everyone. We need to speak now. Gloria froze. Every head turned like sunflowers toward scandal. Gloria looked at the residents, at the families, at the phones lifting to record. Is something wrong, Ms. Voss? Gloria asked, careful, respectful. Pamela lifted a small velvet pouch between two fingers. This was found in the ladies' lounge, she said, and a resident has reported missing valuables. Trent stepped forward. We have a description, he said, voice already judging. Pamela tilted her head. We are a high-standard community. We cannot have incidents. The word incidents hung heavy. It did not mean theft. It meant her. Gloria felt heat rise in her cheeks, but she kept her hands steady. What valuables? Gloria asked. I have not taken anything. Pamela opened the pouch and tipped it into her palm. A gold bracelet. Heavy, expensive. The kind Gloria could not afford in a lifetime. A gasp rippled through the crowd. Trent nodded, as if he had been waiting for this moment all week. Pamela raised her voice. Gloria, we will handle this discreetly, if you cooperate. Discreetly, in front of 50 people. Gloria swallowed. Please, let's go to your office. This is not the place. Pamela's smile widened. Oh, I think it is exactly the place. Trent stepped in close. Empty your pockets, he said. Gloria stared at him. Excuse me. You heard me, Trent said. Pockets now. Gloria's hands shook just a little. Not from guilt, from humiliation. She slowly turned her pockets out. Lint, a key, a folded tissue. Pamela sighed. Theatrical. Check her bag. Gloria's mouth went dry. You cannot do this. Trent snatched her small handbag from the trolley hook and opened it like it belonged to him. He pulled out her lunch container, a small notebook, a cheap pair of reading glasses. Then his hand paused. He lifted a second, velvet pouch. Gloria's stomach dropped. Trent tipped it out. A man's watch. Silver engraved on the back. A resident woman covered her mouth. Someone whispered, I knew it. Gloria felt the room tilt. That is not mine, Gloria said, voice breaking. That is not mine. Pamela's eyes glittered. So it just fell in your bag, did it? Trent held the watch up like a trophy. This belongs to Mr. Bennett, he said. Across the room, an elderly man in a navy cardigan looked up slowly, confused. Harold Bennett, 78. Quiet, kind eyes. A soft voice that apologized for taking up space. He blinked at the watch like he was seeing a ghost. That was my wife's, he murmured. She gave it to me when I retired. Gloria's chest tightened. She had polished Mr. Bennett's table every morning. She had listened when he talked about his wife like she was still in the next room. Gloria shook her head, eyes shining. Mr. Bennett, I would never. Pamela lifted a hand, silencing her. Security, Pamela said sweetly, escort her out. The word out hit like a shove. Trent moved in, gripping Gloria's arm too hard for a procedure. Gloria flinched. Do not touch me like that. Trent leaned close, voice low. You people always make it worse, he said. Gloria's eyes flashed. What did you just say? Pamela's smile did not move. Gloria, do not cause a scene. A scene, as if she was the problem, not the theater they built around her. Gloria looked around. Phones up, faces hungry, nobody stepping in. Not until one small voice cut through it. Leave her alone. Mr. Bennet stood, trembling slightly, gripping the arm of his chair. Pamela turned, annoyance slipping through her mask. Mr. Bennet, sit down. This is stressful. Mr. Bennet looked at Gloria, then at Pamela. She brings me my tea. She checks my heating. She listens. Pamela softened her tone like she was speaking to a child. We understand you like her. That does not change facts. Gloria's throat burned. You are lying, she whispered. You are lying on me. Trent tightened his grip. Outside, he snapped. Gloria's shoes dragged for half a second, then she planted her feet. Her voice rose, not screaming, just clear. I want the police, Gloria said, and I want the cameras, all of them. Pamela's eyes narrowed, a fraction, but Gloria saw it. Fear. Pamela laughed lightly. Oh, honey, the cameras are handled. Gloria locked on that sentence, handled. Trent yanked her forward, and the crowd parted like she was contagious. As Gloria passed the reception desk, she noticed something small. A clear evidence bag already sitting beside Pamela's clipboard, labeled, sealed, ready. Before anyone even searched her, Gloria's stomach turned cold. They did not find proof. They brought it. Trent shoved her through the front doors into the rain. Cold. Slapped her face. Her uniform soaked instantly. The lobby lights behind her made her look smaller than she was. Trent pointed at the pavement. Keep walking, he said. Gloria's voice shook. You are making a mistake, Trent sneered. No, we are correcting one. The doors closed. Gloria stood outside Silver Pines, drenched, while inside, the jazz kept playing. Her hands trembled as she reached into her pocket. Her phone was still there, thank you, God. She tapped the screen with wet fingers and opened her contacts. Renee Whitfield, the lawyer who had told her, weeks ago, quietly, if they come for you, do not argue. Trigger clause 9. Gloria hit call. It rang once. Then Renee's voice.com as a locked door. Gloria. Gloria swallowed hard. They did it. They framed me. A beat. Are you safe? No, Gloria whispered. But I am standing. Good, Renee said. Listen, do you have the card? Gloria's fingers curled around her key. The band was a different color. Slightly, yes, Gloria said. Do not go home, Renee said. Do not post. Do not beg. We move smart. Gloria's breath came out in white puffs. They humiliated me. In front of everyone. I know, Renee said. That was the point. They wanted you ashamed and quiet. Gloria's voice hardened. I am not quiet. Then do exactly what I told you, Renee said. Clause 9. Preservation audit footage. Gloria looked up at the glowing building, the people inside laughing. Okay, she said. Where is your notebook? Renee asked. Gloria's hand went to her bag, still on her shoulder. Here, good, Renee said. You are going to write down everything you remember, in order. Gloria's eyes narrowed. I already did. Renee paused, then softened slightly. Of course you did. Gloria's jaw tightened. Renee. Why were they so ready? Because you were close, Renee said. And they know you see more than you should. Gloria stared at the doors. Mr. Bennet. Yes, Renee said. Mr. Bennet is the prize. Rain ran down Gloria's face like tears. She refused to give them. He told me they keep bringing papers, Gloria said. They say it is care level adjustments. He does not understand. Because it is not care paperwork, Renee said. It is control. Gloria's chest rose and fell. What do I do right now? Renee's voice sharpened. You go somewhere warm and public. A diner, a petrol station, somewhere, with cameras that are not theirs. Gloria turned, walking down the wet pavement, shoes squelching. And Renee added, do not let them turn you into a headline. You are going to become evidence. Gloria blinked rain from her lashes. Okay. She found a 24-hour diner 2 streets away. Warm air hit her like a hug. Coffee smell, frying oil, a bored waitress with kind eyes. Gloria slid into a booth, dripping onto the vinyl seat. She pulled out her notebook, old worn, like a friend. She opened to the first clean page and wrote, time, place, who spoke, what they said, Pamela's words, transcript, the evidence bag, on the desk. Then she stopped, because her hand was shaking for a different reason now. Not fear, anger. A man at the counter glanced at her and looked away. The television above the bar played muted news. Gloria stared at her own reflection in the window. A maid, a black woman, wet hair, no makeup, no protection. They thought she was easy. They did not know what she had lived through. Gloria's mind went back years ago, to her mother, in a facility much like Silver Pines, a place that promised care and delivered neglect wrapped in polite language. Her mother had died with unanswered questions and missing money. The day Gloria buried her, she promised she would never let it happen to someone else, if she could stop it. That was why she took this job. That was why she watched everything. That was why she wrote down names. That was why she kept receipts. Gloria's phone buzzed. A text from Renee. Do not say a word to them. Let them talk. Let them make mistakes. Gloria breathed in slowly. Then her phone buzzed again. A new message. Unknown number. Stop causing trouble. You will not win this. Gloria stared at the screen, then she typed back, simple. Watch me. Gloria closed her phone and looked straight ahead. If you are watching this, and you have ever been judged by your clothes, your job, your age, or your skin, leave a comment. Tell me where you are watching from, and hit like and subscribe for dignity, fairness, and real accountability. Then, stay with Gloria, because what they did next was worse. By morning, the story was already moving. A short clip from the fundraiser had hit social media. Not the part where Gloria asked for cameras. Not the part where Trent planted the pouch. Just the part where Trent held up the watch, and Pamela looked concerned. The caption read, Maid, caught stealing from elderly resident. Gloria's stomach clenched when she saw it. They were writing her story without her. Renee met her at a small office across town, the kind with scuffed floors and strong coffee. Renee Whitfield was in her 40s, hair pulled back, eyes steady. She handed Gloria a towel and a spare jumper. Sit, Renee said. Gloria sat, shoulders tight. Renee slid her laptop around. Tell me every detail again. Gloria spoke slowly, clearly, like she was laying bricks. Renee listened, barely blinking. When Gloria finished, Renee nodded once. They were too ready, Renee said. That helps us. Gloria leaned forward. How do we prove it? Renee opened a folder and tapped a document. Your employment contract, Renee said, and their resident agreement. Gloria frowned. I do not understand. Renee pointed. Clause 9. Evidence. Preservation on allegation events. Gloria's voice went flat. So they have to keep footage. They have to preserve it, Renee corrected. And if they fail, the assumption falls against them. Gloria swallowed. They said, cameras are handled. Renee's eyes narrowed. And you heard that? Gloria nodded. It is in my notes. Renee leaned back. Good. Now we need the trigger. Gloria blinked. What trigger? Renee's tone softened. The authorization, the one Mr. Bennett gave you. Gloria's fingers tightened around her keycard. You mean the papers? Renee nodded. If we show you are his emergency proxy, they cannot shut you out. Gloria looked down. Mr. Bennett said, my card opens doors. It will, Renee said, but only if you are brave enough to use it. Gloria's voice shook. I am a maid. They will call the police on me again. Renee leaned forward. Let them. This time, we are ready. Gloria stared at Renee, searching her face for doubt. There was none. Renee slid Gloria's phone back to her. We go today, Renee said. Gloria's heart thumped. To Silver Pines. Renee nodded. And we do it in daylight. public with witnesses. Gloria stood, pulling her shoulders back like armor. Okay, she said, let's go. They arrived at Silver Pines mid-morning. The building looked innocent in sunlight. Flowers trimmed, flags, smiling brochure, photos behind glass. Gloria walked in beside Renee. The receptionist's smile vanished when she saw Gloria's uniform. Oh, the receptionist said, voice tight, you are not permitted here. Renee stepped forward. I am attorney Renee Whitfield. This is my client, Gloria Rivers. The receptionist glanced around like she wanted an adult to come handle it. I will call Ms. Voss, she said. Please do, Renee replied. Gloria's stomach churned as she looked around the lobby. A resident sat, reading a paper, pretending not to listen. A cleaner pushed a mop, eyes flicking to Gloria, then away. Trent appeared first, like he had been waiting behind a wall. His eyes raked Gloria with open disgust. You got nerve, he said. Renee held up a hand. Speak to me, not her. Trent scoffed. This is private property. She was terminated. Renee smiled slightly. And yet she is also the emergency proxy for Mr. Harold Bennett, resident of this facility. Trent's face changed, just a fraction. Gloria saw it. That was the first crack. Pamela Voss stepped out from the corridor, face composed, anger tucked neatly under lipstick. Renee, Pamela said. Always a pleasure. What is this? Renee's voice stayed polite. It is a demand for preservation and release under Clause 9. Allegation, event, evidence, footage. Pamela's smile tightened. We are handling the matter internally. Renee nodded. That is not an option. Pamela's eyes flicked to Gloria. She stole from a vulnerable resident. Gloria's hands curled into fists. You framed me. Pamela laughed softly, like Gloria had told a joke. Renee continued, calm. We are also requesting immediate cessation of all contract adjustments presented to Mr. Bennett until independent counsel reviews them. Pamela's jaw tightened. You have no authority over our care planning. Gloria reached into her pocket and pulled out her key card. The band was silver, not blue like the other staff cards. She held it up. I do, Gloria said. Trent stared. Where did you get that? Gloria's voice was steady now. Mr. Bennett gave it to me. Pamela took a slow breath. That is impossible. Renee tilted her head. Is it? Pamela turned to the receptionist. Call the police, she snapped. Renee smiled wider. Perfect, please do. Gloria's pulse hammered, but she did not move. Pamela stepped closer to Gloria. Lowering her voice, You are embarrassing yourself, Pamela whispered. You will lose everything. Gloria looked Pamela dead in the eye. I already lost everything once, Gloria whispered back. And you still are not satisfied. Pamela's eyes flashed. Then she stepped back and raised her voice for the lobby. Security, Pamela called. Remove her. Trent stepped forward, and Gloria raised her phone. Before you touch me, Gloria said, loud enough for the residents to hear, I want everyone to know I am recording. Trent hesitated. The resident with the paper lowered it and watched. Pamela's smile turned brittle. Recording is prohibited. Renee's voice cut in. Not when my client fears harassment and retaliation. Touch her, and you will be explaining it in court. Trent's hands stayed at his sides. Pamela turned sharply. Fine. What do you want? Renee's tone stayed smooth. The footage, the incident, reports, the chain of custody for alleged evidence, and the last 90 days of Mr. Bennett's account and care, addendum logs. Pamela stared at Renee. Then she looked at Gloria, and for the first time, the mask slipped. Pamela did not look disgusted. She looked worried. Pamela leaned closer to Renee, voice low but angry. You are overreaching, Pamela hissed. This is a senior community, not a courtroom. Renee nodded, then. Why do you keep contracts like a bank? Pamela's mouth tightened. Renee turned to Gloria. Use the card, she said softly. Gloria's legs felt heavy as she walked towards the staff corridor. Trent shifted to block her. You cannot go back there. Gloria held up the card again. Watch me. Gloria walked to a secured door with a keypad. A sign read, Administration only. She tapped the KEYCARD dot. Beep, the lock clicked open. Trent's eyes widened. Pamela's face went pale. That sound, that small click, was twist number 3 sliding into place. Gloria pushed the door open and stepped into the corridor. The air smelled like printer ink and carpet. Cleaner, she walked with Renee, close behind. Pamela followed, heels sharp with panic now. Trent hovered like a dog that had lost its owner's scent. They reached the administration office. A second locked door. Another keypad. Gloria tapped the keycard again. Beep, dot click. Inside was a small room with file cabinets and a wall of monitors, CCTV. Gloria's breath caught. Pamela rushed forward. This is restricted. Renee stepped in. You just attempted to have my client removed. That is retaliation. Stand back. Pamela looked at Trent. Do something. Trent hesitated, eyes on the monitors, because on one screen, in the corner, he could see last night's lobby, frozen on a paused frame. Him, holding Gloria's bag, his hand deep inside it. Gloria stared at the screen, heart pounding. Renee pointed, there. Preserve that. Pamela snapped. Those cameras are not accessible without IT approval. Renee's voice went colder. Then call IT. Pamela's eyes flicked to the file cabinet. Gloria noticed. Gloria stepped towards it. What is in there? Pamela moved fast to block her. Personal documents. Renee lifted an eyebrow, like the evidence bags you had ready before any search. Pamela's lips parted, then closed. Gloria's voice was soft, dangerous. You already knew what you were going to find. Pamela's face twisted. You should have stayed in your lane. Gloria stared at her. My lane is dignity. Renee walked to the computer and pointed at the system. I am issuing a formal preservation notice, Renee said, voice clipped. Any deletion from this moment forward is spoliation. Pamela's breathing quickened. Trent shifted, uncomfortable. Renee turned to Trent. Tell me, Mr. Caldwell, did you log the chain of custody for that watch? Trent, we do not have to. Renee nodded slowly. Okay. And who handled her bag? Trent's jaw tightened. Renee continued. And who provided the velvet pouches? Trent glanced at Pamela. Gloria felt her stomach twist. Renee smiled without warmth. Thank you. That glance was very helpful. Pamela snapped, voice raised. This is harassment. Renee's voice stayed calm. No, this is accountability. At that moment, the door behind them opened. A uniformed police officer stepped in, scanning the room. Another officer behind him. The receptionist had called them. Pamela's shoulders relaxed slightly, thinking help had arrived. Trent straightened like a student with a teacher in the room. Pamela stepped forward. Officers, thank you. This woman is trespassing and interfering with an investigation. Renee held up her bar card and her phone. Officer Renee said, I am counsel. This facility has made a public allegation, and we are here under the resident agreement to preserve evidence. The officer looked between them. What resident? Gloria spoke clearly. Mr. Harold Bennett. The officer's expression shifted. The gentleman in Unit 4B. Gloria nodded. Pamela blinked. How do you know his unit? The officer continued. He called this morning, said someone was pressuring him to sign papers. He sounded frightened. Pamela's mouth opened, then closed. Renee's eyes flicked to Gloria. That was twist number 2, tightening its grip. Mr. Bennett had not been as helpless as they thought. He had been listening. Gloria swallowed, eyes burning. The officer looked at Pamela. Ma'am, if there is an allegation of theft, we need the report. Pamela's smile returned, forced. Of course, we have evidence. Renee held out a hand, and we require the footage. Pamela's eyes flicked again to the monitor wall, then away. The officer followed her gaze. You have CCTV. Pamela tried to smile. Limited. Renee's voice was soft, not limited, convenient. Gloria stepped forward, voice shaking but strong. "Officer," Gloria said, "I want to file a report. I was falsely accused. I was searched publicly. I was physically handled." Trent scoffed. "She is exaggerating." Gloria turned to Trent. "Then you will not mind the footage." Silence. The officer nodded slowly. "Let's see it." Pamela's face went tight. "We need IT." The officer's tone firmed. "Call them." Pamela looked trapped. Trent looked at the floor. Gloria stared at the monitors, pulse racing, because she knew somewhere, in those files, was the truth. An hour later, it arrived. A young man with tired eyes, plugged in a drive. He pulled up the lobby footage from last night. Pamela stood stiff, arms crossed. Renee stood like a statue, calm. Gloria's hands trembled at her sides. The officer watched, expression unreadable. The footage played, bright lobby, fundraiser. People laughing. Gloria, pushing her trolley, head down. Pamela, approaching, smiling. Then the search, then Trent, opening Gloria's bag. The camera angle was clear. To clear. Trent's hand slipped, a velvet pouch, into Gloria's handbag, smooth as a magician. Then he pulled it out again. Acting shocked, Gloria gasped softly. Her knees went weak, not because it hurt, because it was proof. Renee's voice was quiet. Pause. Zoom. It zoomed. Trent's fingers, unmistakable. Pamela's face, visible behind him, watching, not surprised, expecting it. The officer's jaw tightened. Pamela's voice rose, panicked. "This is being misinterpreted." Renee looked at her. "Is it?" The officer turned to Trent. "Mr. Caldwell, explain that." Trent's mouth opened. "Nothing came out," Pamela snapped. "He is nervous, that is all." Renee pointed at the screen. "Roll it back 10 seconds." It rolled back. Another detail surfaced. On the desk behind Pamela, before the search, a sealed evidence bag sat ready. Labeled. Pamela's eyes darted. Gloria's voice broke. "You already had it prepared." Pamela's face twisted. "Because we are organized." Renee shook her head. "No, because you were staging." The officer stepped forward. "Ma'am, I need you to stop talking." Pamela froze. The officer looked at his partner. "Get statements, now." Pamela's eyes widened. "Officer, please. You do not understand the community you are dealing with." The officer's voice was flat. "I understand. A setup when I see one." Trent's shoulders sagged. Gloria stood there, soaked in yesterday's humiliation, now wrapped in today's truth. But Renee was not finished. Renee turned to the officer. "There is more. Financial coercion. Contract manipulation." Pamela snapped. "That is a lie." Renee looked at Gloria. "Tell him." Gloria swallowed. "Mr. Bennett said they kept bringing papers. They told him it was care updates. He was scared." The officer nodded. "We have that call," Renee continued. "We request the last 90 days of his account and any care addendums, plus any fees applied." Pamela's voice shook. "Confidential." Renee's tone stayed firm. "Not when you are exploiting him." Pamela's eyes darted to the file cabinet again. Gloria stepped towards it, keycard in hand. The cabinet had a small keypad lock. Gloria looked at Renee. Renee nodded once. Gloria tapped a code. Not guessed given, Mr. Bennett had told her weeks ago, quietly. "If anything happens, the code is my wife's birthday." Gloria entered the numbers. Beep, the cabinet unlocked. Pamela lunged forward. "Stop." The officer blocked her. Gloria pulled the top drawer open. Folders, contracts, highlighted pages, sticky notes. One folder stood out. Bennett. Gloria opened it carefully. Inside were care addendums, with new fees. A document labeled Durable Power of Attorney. And a signature line, Mr. Bennett's name. Shaky. And below it, a witness signature. Pamela Voss. Gloria's stomach dropped. Renee's eyes flashed. "You had him sign this." Pamela's voice cracked. "He agreed." Gloria whispered. "He did not understand." The officer took the folder gently. "Ma'am, You need to come with us. Pamela's face went pale. This is ridiculous. I run this facility. The officer nodded. Not anymore. Pamela looked at Gloria. Pure hatred now. No mask. You are a maid, Pamela spat. You should be grateful you had work. Gloria stepped forward, voice quiet, shaking with power. I am not just anything, Gloria said, and you are not above the law. Pamela tried to pull back, but the officer's partner stepped in. Trent backed away slowly, like he wanted to disappear. Renee turned to Trent. You still have time, she said. Tell the truth, and it helps you. Trent's face twitched. He looked at Pamela, then at Gloria, then down at his own hands. I was told to do it, Trent said, voice small. Pamela's head snapped. Shut up. Trent flinched. She told me, he said. She said, Gloria was getting in the way. She said, we needed to make an example. Gloria felt tears burn. Not weakness. Release. The officer nodded. Grim. Thank you. That will be in your statement. Pamela's mouth opened, but words failed her. They escorted Pamela out through the same lobby doors she had thrown. Gloria through. Residents watched. Families who were visiting that morning watched. Phones came up again. This time, the headline was not about a maid stealing. It was about a director caught and a system exposed. Later that afternoon, Renee arranged a meeting in the common hall bright room. Chairs lined up, residents present, families present. The board members dialed in, voices crackling through a speaker. Mr. Bennett sat in the front row, hands folded, eyes wet. Gloria stood near the wall, unsure if she was allowed to take up space. Renee stepped to the front, calm and firm. We are here to address a breach of trust, Renee said, and to ensure resident safety and restitution. A board member's voice came through. We are shocked. Renee's voice did not soften. You are late. She played the footage on a screen. Trent planting the pouch, Pamela, watching, gasps, murmurs, anger. A daughter stood up, trembling. My father lives here, a son shouted. How long has this been happening? Renee raised a hand. We will not shout over residents. We will be precise. Gloria watched the room shift. From denial to horror to action. Renee listed steps. Independent audit. Immediate suspension of all. Addendums. Review of fees. New oversight. Hotline. External security. Then she turned to Mr. Bennett. Mr. Bennett, Renee said gently. Do you want to say anything? Mr. Bennett stood slowly, leaning on his cane. He looked around the room. I am old, he said, voice shaking. People think that makes me useless. He swallowed. My wife used to say, Harold, aging does not make you less human. He looked at Gloria. This young lady, he said, smiling sadly, treated me like I still mattered. Gloria's eyes filled. Mr. Bennett continued. They tried to turn her into a criminal, but she is the one who protected me. A few people clapped softly at first, then more. Gloria stood frozen, overwhelmed. Renee stepped aside and nodded towards Gloria. Gloria hesitated. Then she walked forward. She faced the room. I am Gloria Rivers, she said. I clean floors. I change bins. I wipe fingerprints. A few nervous laughs. Gloria's voice steadied. I also listen. I watch. I noticed. She looked at the families. If you love someone in a place like this, do not assume the brochure is the truth, Gloria said. Her voice tightened. Ask questions. Read papers. Trust your gut. She looked at the residents, and to my elders, Gloria said, softer, you are not a burden. You are not a check. You are a life. The room was quiet. Renee stepped back and Gloria's employment termination is void, Renee said. She is reinstated, with back pay, and a new role, if she chooses it. The board member's voice came in quickly. Yes, absolutely. Gloria blinked. A new role. Renee turned to her. Resident advocate, Renee said. Paid properly. Protected properly. Gloria's breath caught. She had spent her life being told she was replaceable. Now the room was admitting they needed Her Mr. Bennet reached out, taking Gloria's hand. "You did not leave me," he whispered. Gloria squeezed back. "I promised I would not." Outside, the rain had stopped. The sky looked scrubbed clean. Pamela Voss was arrested that evening. The investigation widened. Other families came forward. Other residents spoke, voices shaking with relief and rage. Trent was removed, and later cooperated fully. The facility's accounts were audited. Money was returned. Contracts were voided. People who thought they were untouchable learned what a paper trail can do. A week later, Gloria walked through the Silver Pines lobby again. Not as someone invisible, as someone seen. The receptionist smiled, real this time. A resident waved. A nurse nodded with respect. Gloria's shoes squeaked. Once on the polished floor, and nobody flinched. Mr. Bennet sat near the fountain, reading a book. He looked up and smiled. "Morning, Ms. Rivers," he said. Gloria smiled back. "Morning, Mr. Bennet." She paused, then added gently, "How is your tea today?" Mr. Bennet chuckled. "Better than ever." Gloria walked past the gift table where she had been humiliated. The memory was still there, but it did not own her anymore, because the truth had been louder. If this story hit home for you, comment where you are watching from, and if you believe dignity should never depend on skin color, job title, or age. Please like, share, and subscribe, because fairness is not a trend, it is a requirement. This story is fictional, created to highlight dignity, accountability, and the need to protect our elders. No one deserves to be treated as less than human, and nobody gets to hide behind a smile forever.